Welcome, Shiloh. Can you tell me why you're here?
So I'm just starting out my financial journey, and jobs are a little bit scarce right now. I'm a librarian, but I'm hoping I can make a little bit of money to support myself financially, and set up, a little bit of a security net, hopefully long term.
Right? Well, it's never too late to start. The best time to start was 5 years ago, and the next best time is today.
Now.
So, can you tell me a little bit about what you already know about the stock market and a little bit about your goals? Like, what are you planning over the next year or 2 years? Is this money that you want to leave invested long term, or is it money you might take out later if you want to buy a house or do something? Just talk
I'm
through a little.
Yeah, I'm curious just to see how much money I can make in a short term
Hmm.
way. But if I can make, whatever, I don't know, maybe like $1,000 or something in a shorter term, or I have absolutely no idea how,
Right,
but
right,
or if I can make any amount, honestly, more than just what I invest, then I would be interested in doing more long term, investing. So,
right. Okay. So we're going to talk about the different ways you make money in the stock market, and there is no short-term crystal ball about how your investments will perform, but we can talk about ways you make money and how to make decisions,
hmm.
because the worst thing to do is to buy high and sell low.
Yeah,
And so we'll talk more about your time horizon, but even before we get there, I feel like learning the
learning the
terminology, yeah,
basics.
the basics, the
Absolutely.
terminology, how the market works.
Yes.
So I I think the best place to start. I'm gonna pull up some slides because it just helps me talk through some things
Yeah, absolutely.
about how the market works, and
It's
we'll
all
see
going to
where
be
they.
brand new information to me.
Okay, that's good. I'm sure it is brand new information to a lot of our viewers too. So the first question that I ask always is, "Are you ready?" And so
Hmm.
I have a set of questions that I want to ask you, and you can say yes or no. But if you say yes to most of them, you're probably there. First, I already know you have a smartphone, a tablet, or a computer.
Yes,
Do you have at least $100 to get started with?
I do.
Okay, all right. How's your self discipline?
I think it's pretty good, actually, at this moment in time. It's the best it's ever been. So,
Okay, all right. So, yeah, I just want to make sure that you are prepared to ride it through and not make impulsive decisions.
oh, absolutely.
You have a bank account
I do.
and clearly a commitment to learn.
I love learning. I'm really excited.
Right, you have a master's in library science.
Yep,
Where
yep.
from?
UNC Chapel Hill.
Okay.
Woohoo.
Yeah, I went to UNC also as an undergrad, but my master's degree is from Gallaudet in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
So a librarian and a linguist learn
Yeah.
to invest in the stock market. And so you've already talked a little bit about your goals. You
Hmm.
you want to make money. I mean,
Yeah.
that's everybody's goal. And one of the things we talk about is your tolerance for volatility. The
Hmm.
market goes up, the market goes down, the market goes up. Over the long term,
Hmm.
it, at least for the last, 100, 150 years,
Yeah.
has consistently moved up. But we don't know when it's going to go down, when it's going to go up.
Hmm.
And so if you invest in something that loses value, are you going to panic?
No.
Okay. So you have a commitment to invest regularly. You have 10 minutes a week to look at your accounts and see
I
what you're
do.
doing.
Yes.
And a trusted source of information would be me.
Hmm.
All right. So the very first concept is investing and consuming.
Hmm.
When you invest in something, you are expecting that investment to grow your wealth.
Hmm.
And the stock market is not the only thing you can invest in. I invested in a rental condo a few years ago. And just let me tell you, owning a rental condo on Airbnb is not a passive investment.
Oh, I'm
It was a
sure.
job, but it was a great investment. I bought
Hmm.
it, I rented it, I used the income to then fix it up, and then I rented it for more money, and then eventually I sold it
Yeah.
and made money on that. So, people, when they buy real estate, expect the value of their investment to grow, or they expect to make money from it. Other things that people invest in.
I mean, I would think about like me getting a library science degree as investing in my future.
Yeah, yeah,
One hopes.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that is one of the hard things right now about education, because people
Yeah.
pay to get an education. They come out with a degree, and what they hope is that that's going to improve their buying power,
Yes.
or it's going to improve their earning power.
Yes.
Which and I really am glad that I made the investment in my master's degree, and it paid off for me in a lot of
Yeah.
ways. Just in my credibility, in my job opportunities, and for a while in the North Carolina public education system, I got a supplement for having a master's degree. They don't offer that anymore. But yeah, education is an investment.
Yeah.
And, I think about a plumber. A plumber might invest in a work truck and tools and a website and advertising for their services. So they spend that money because they then hope they're going to make money. And that's
Yeah.
another way to invest. So there are lots of ways to invest, but we are going to be talking about investing in the stock market. And that's a way to invest in other people's companies and hope that they make money for you.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Purchases, unlike investments, depreciate over time. I mean, if you purchase a home, then you expect it's going to increase. But your car,
Yeah.
it is a depreciating investment, or I don't even want to call it an investment. It's a depreciating purchase. And you may have to have a car in order to work.
Yeah.
But getting a fancier car does not make you more wealthy, makes you less wealthy. Let's talk about stocks and shares. So a lot of people confuse these terms. If you say, I own 5 shares I own 5 shares. I might say 5 shares of what? So you can say, I own 5 shares of Coca-Cola. I own 5 shares of Walmart. I own 5 shares of this Vanguard dividend ETF. And those may be words you don't know yet. If you say, I bought 3 stocks, I'm going to want to know, what are the 3 companies?
Okay.
Shares are pieces of stock in a company. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So that's just a terminology thing. And we're going to talk about ways to grow your wealth. And mostly with the stock market, we talk about 3 ways. You can make capital gains by buying something and selling it for more than you paid for it. You can get paid dividends, which we'll talk more about in a little while. And later, after you are really solid with how the stock market works, you can learn to utilize stock options to build your account as well. Anybody who talks about options, well, no, I won't say anybody. A lot of people who talk about options are talking about really risky trades where you are gambling your money. But there are ways to use options safely, but you have to have more than $100 to do it. You have to have more capital available in order to do it safely.
Yeah.
There are plenty of people who do it not safely. So back to stocks and shares. You can buy shares of Coca-Cola. You can't buy shares of Lego.
Okay.
And that's because Coca-Cola is a publicly traded corporation. Lego is still privately owned, I think, by the family that started it. In order for a company to be publicly traded, they have to go through a certain process of offering their shares or shares in the company for sale to the public. And there are regulations about how that process happens. Private companies do not have to follow all those same rules. They don't have to share as much information. They don't have these public disclosure laws. And you can't just decide that you want to own a piece of a private company. The people who own the company would have to allow you to invest in it. But anybody can buy shares of a publicly traded company if they have the funds to do it.
And is there a reason that companies become public?
Yes. Usually
Since it seems like it's a lot of hassle.
it is a lot of hassle, and then they become answerable to their shareholders
Yeah.
who can vote on
Maybe a
certain
good
things
thing.
about how the company is run.
Yeah.
It can be. Most companies start off as private companies that then decide to go public.
Okay.
And once they've met whatever the requirements are, and I really don't know what all of those are,
Mhm.
and I don't know if I even need to, they offer shares for sale to the public in what is called an initial public offering. And you may have heard of an IPO. It maybe not. If you ever watch the financial news, they'll talk
Yeah.
about, Reddit, for
Mhm.
example, recently went from private to public, and now they sell shares to the public, and people buy and sell those shares to with each other.
Mhm.
Usually it's because they want to raise money, and they want to raise capital, maybe for some goals the company has, to expand or do something different. So it's a way to raise money from the public.
I see.
Once a company goes public, it gets a ticker. And the ticker is this symbol that's used on the stock exchanges, and we'll talk about those in a minute, to identify the company and identify the shares. So if you look at these tickers and logos, logos are for advertising and tickers are for trading.
Okay. Yeah.
So you probably recognize most of these logos, like Carnival Cruise Line, Johnson & Johnson. You know what GPC is? You might not.
Is that a car thing?
Exactly. I think it's genuine car parts or something car. Anyway, GPC, yeah, they sell car parts, and they've been around for a long time. This one, Medtronics. So these are all these logos, and then over here are these tickers. The really old ones, like T, that's a very old company. Back when there were very few stocks being traded. T was for AT&T. F for Ford. Yeah. CCL, Carnival Cruise Lines. A lot of times people look at BA and they think Bank of America, but it's actually, do you recognize that logo?
I don't.
Boeing Air.
Oh, wow.
So tickers and logos, these are tickers. And so back to that IPO that we were just talking about. So when that initial public offering is made, the company decides how many shares they're going to sell and what the price of each share is going to be.
Okay.
And after those initial shares are sold, then people buy and sell shares from each other, and supply and demand determines the price. So if it's a great company and people want to buy the shares, they'll pay more for them and the price goes up. If there is some problem, or the company's not doing well, or they have a bad earnings report, the demand for the shares may go down and people will start selling what they own and the price drops. You have probably heard market cap or small cap or large cap as descriptors for companies. The market capitalization is the total value of all of the shares. The market cap is the share price times the total number of outstanding shares. If a company's going public and it's $100 million company, they can sell 1 million shares for $100 a piece, or they can sell 20 million shares for $5 a piece. And it's not a better deal to get a $5 share than a $100 share, because if you spend $200 and buy 2 shares for $100 or 40 shares for $5, you've bought the same amount, the same size piece of that company. When I try to teach this to like high schoolers, and I'll say, would you rather have two $20 bills or 4 $10 bills? And they're like, well, it's the same thing. Although some of them say, well, if you've got $10 bills, it's easier to spend them. Maybe. Maybe it's easier to buy and sell if the share price is lower, but the share price doesn't tell you anything about whether the share is a good value or not.
And in theory, you would have less to keep up with if you just had 2 as opposed to 40? Or does
Not
it?
necessarily. It's just, a line on your brokerage account that says this is how much your shares are worth, this is how many you have. Um, I don't want to get too deep in the
Sure.
weeds, but some brokers will let you buy and sell partial shares. So you can say, I want to spend $125, and they might let you buy 1.25 shares. Some brokers don't allow that. You have to buy whole shares. And so, if the share price of, I don't know, let's look at something over here. Like the share price of NVIDIA. So this is a trading screen. It has way more information than you ever need to, not than you need to look at right now. But I'm just going to get some information here. All right, so we're looking here at NVIDIA. A lot of people are trading this right now. And you can look and see that if we click on NVIDIA.
And does NVIDIA, does that stand for something?
NVDA is the ticker. The company is NVIDIA Corporation.
Okay.
And they make AI computer chips and other things.
Oh.
Right. So this is
okay.
a very hot stock
I was going to say,
now.
yeah.
Although I will show you just because.
This is what my mom has stocks in.
Yes. So. All right. So your mom has NVIDIA stock. Do you know if she has at least 100 shares?
I don't. I can check.
Okay. Because if she has at least 100 shares, I can show her how to use options to boost her returns.
Excellent.
But anyway, so we look at like right here. This is a 3-month chart. And I wasn't going to show you all of this, but we're going to do it anyway for just a minute. Let's look at NVIDIA over the last 3 years. So in September of 2023, NVIDIA stock was like $40 a share, $47 a share, and right now it's $188.
Wow.
And there are a lot of people right now who are kind of worried about this stock because look what's happened in the last, let's look in the last 2 weeks. Oh, it climbed and climbed and climbed, and now the share price is dropping. See, I look at this and think, this is a great time to buy NVIDIA.
Yeah,
but,
maybe.
So
maybe I will.
So NVIDIA right now is trading at $188 a share. But a couple of weeks ago, it was trading at $210, $212. So the price has pulled back. So this looks kind of alarming until you look. This is the 2-week chart. If you expand it out to 3 years,
it's steadily climbing.
It's steadily climbing, but periodically it pulls back, climbs again, pulls back, climbs again. So if you wanted to buy NVIDIA, and you'd have to have almost $200 to buy a share of NVIDIA. Another stock that I sometimes trade, and this is not what I'm recommending, I'm just showing it to you. I bought some shares, or I was trading some options on a company called Novavax, and they make vaccines. And at one point, Novavax made me a whole bunch of money, and I still had some shares left over. So I'm sort of attached to it, but it trades at $7.66 a share. It's also a very volatile, very risky stock. And but you can see, like in 2024, at one point, the share price went from $280 up to $23.96. And at one point, when I was trading this, it went up to like $200 or $300 a share. And I had some shares, and I sold some of my shares and like made money on it, but I have some shares left over in my account that have then like really dropped in value. That's when you say, oh, I should have sold it all. Or you can say, well, I made money on it and I still have these shares and it's left in my account. And I kind of like this company. They make I'm going to be cautious, not with you, but with people who may be listening. I am a vaccine enthusiast.
Yes. We support vaccines here, okay?
My
public education.
Public
work.
Yes.
It helps.
And my spouse was an early vaccine. She was in the early vaccine research and got the shots, and we could tell that she probably gotten the real Moderna vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
This is a total segue, but I think it's okay to have in here. She
Yeah.
got the Moderna vaccine, and we were pretty sure she got the real one, not the placebo, because she got a little sick for a day or two, and then she did all of our shopping while we were locked down for COVID. But I know there are people in this country who are skeptical of the mRNA vaccines. So this is just me talking about how I think about a company. So Novavax makes a different type of vaccine that doesn't use the mRNA technology. And so I think there is a market for this particular company to sell their brand of vaccine. So I'm not dumping my few shares that I have left, and I trade some options around them. But if you want to buy a share of Novavax, and I'm not recommending it because I don't do stock recommendations, it is $7.69 a share. But at one point it was up here, at $300 a share. And if it does that again, then it's one of those kind of speculative investments. But I'm showing it to you because $7.69 versus NVIDIA at $189, and I'm trying to think of any other companies. Let's just see what the share price is. Anything your mom's invested in?
Well, she does. Yeah, she has the NVIDIA. Is Apple a company?
Apple is a publicly traded company. It was a small private company that went public and made a bunch of money for a bunch of people. So, all right, so Apple stock right now is trading at $271 a share. I'm going to show you another one, one that I trade and that I'm invested in. We can talk about the difference between trading and investing later, but I am invested in T. Rowe Price, and it trades right now at $102 a share. It pays a dividend, which we're going to talk about in another session. So I make money every 3 months when it pays me a dividend. And and if you look at the chart, it kind of spiked up here in 2021, and then it's been kind of trading in this range ever since.
And what is the program that you're using? This is Thinkorswim?
Yeah, so every broker has their own user interface for buying and selling or trading. And the one that I look at and that I use the most, because I trade options, I like the Thinkorswim trading platform, which is the user interface for people who have accounts at Schwab.
Okay.
Other brokerage firms have different trading platforms, and Schwab has a much simpler platform just for buying and selling stocks and ETFs. Right. So that was our kind of rabbit hole of share price and how share price does not tell you the value of the stock. It's just how big your piece of the company is. Okay. Small cap and large cap are just terms you may hear, and I want you to be familiar with them. Small cap companies typically have a market capitalization, total share price value between $300 million and $2 billion. And they're called small cap companies. Large cap companies are typically over $10 billion. So large cap are like NVIDIA, Apple, a lot of these older companies, they may be large cap, big corporations that are worth a lot of money. So there's a list of terminology, and I'm going to show you where you can get it, because I think going through the terminology is a really good first step to kind of understanding how this stuff works. And then I'm going to give you a homework assignment.
Awesome.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Great. All right. So on my website here, where it says new to investing, you can drop down to this starting from scratch series, and this is YouTube information. So it's a series of 8 videos, and we have kind of covered episode 1, Are You Ready to Invest? And episode 2, Introduction to the Stock Market. And if you see here, this download, episode 1 through 3 reference guide, if you download that, it includes a list of terminology. We'll check next time to make sure you feel solid about all the terms.
Great.
So that when we talk about stuff or you ask a question, I'm not answering using words you don't know.
Awesome.
The other place you can look here on this same page on the website, they're linked to these 2 books. And, I used to work in public education, so they're like textbooks. This one is The Beginner's Guide to the Stock Market. Very affordable. It's an ebook. You don't have to have a Kindle device to read it because you can download a free Kindle app on your computer or on your tablet and then read it. The book's only $3.99 and it covers a lot of the information pretty much. I mean, it just depends on how you like to learn. You can watch the video, you can read this book, but the end of the book has, or of each section of the book, has terminology lists and sort of exercises, things you can do. And then there's an appendix with definitions, and because it's an ebook, there are links so you can go find what you need.
Awesome. I just got the Stock Market 101 starting from scratch in my email.
Oh,
So-
super. All right, perfect. So did it
It's here.
download right away? It's everything you...
Let's see.
Yeah,
Let me-
okay, so then those are the guides.
There's a link to download in the email.
Okay, perfect. I haven't seen this from the user side, so it's kind of nice.
Yep.
All right, so there's your reference guide.
Awesome.
And if you scroll down, you should be able to find, a lot of information on it. And there's your homework assignment. So
Yay.
what's the homework assignment say?
Pick a stock that is traded on the New York Stock Exchange and another stock that is traded on NASDAQ.
Uh-oh, I feel like that must be the end of episode 3 because we haven't talked about stock exchanges yet, have we?
We have not.
Well, how long have we been doing this? Do we want to wait and talk about stock exchanges in our next?
I think so.
Okay, I think so too. So this is just the beginning of
This
learning.
is the very end of that section. So
Yes, okay. So let's wait, and next time let's talk about stock exchanges and brokers and brokerage firms because that's the way you get to participate in the market.
Great.
But this is just the beginning of like investing, public companies, shares,
Yeah.
making sure that you know what all of these mean.
And here I see the key terminology.
Okay.
It's on page 2.
Okay, perfect.
So-
So take a look and make note of questions, and when we have our next meeting and we do our next recording, we'll go back to that. And so then here with the the Beginner's Guide to the Stock Market is the short version. This book here, the 3-in-1 guide, actually has 3 books in it. I'm going to go over here
It's a
to
deal.
Amazon. Yeah. So there are 3 books in the Novice Investor's Guide series. So the first one is the Beginner's Guide to the Stock Market. This one you do not need to read yet is the Beginner's Guide to Safe Options Trading, although I'd love to teach your mom.
Yeah.
And then the third one is the book that you may never want to read. It's the bull put spread options. Well, you see,
The dragon.
I like the dragon. Yeah, the dragon guarding her wealth at her computer.
Yeah. One day.
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, I did this for 8 months, and it was an 8-month experiment that made me $800. But bull put spreads are brilliant until they're not. It was really fun when the market was going up, but when the market started pulling back, they became very hard to manage. And my conclusion was, this is how you do it, but I don't advise it. And so this one is the whole like eyes wide open. If you're going to do it, at least understand how it works. But you may never need that.
Okay.
Okay. So this has been great. So do you feel like homework assignment, basic stock market concepts? So you're going to pick a company and you're going to answer some questions about it.
Great.
Like the name, ticker, current share price, a little bit about what it does. And then we'll meet back and we're going to talk about brokers and exchanges.
Awesome.
Okay, great.
Yes,
This is great.
Thank you. I'm so excited to get into it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we're doing this together. And it's really helpful to me to like know where you reached your saturation point.
Sure.
I mean, I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah,
this was
absolutely.
enough for the first day. I don't want to try to like overload you. So we'll try to do it in manageable bites.
Yes,
And
I
then-
think this is perfect.
Okay, great. All right. All right, everybody. So we'll see you next time. And I'm looking forward to helping Shiloh along this journey. Let us know what you think and tell me if you have any questions. Just put them in the comments and we'll build this playlist.
Yay.
Okay.